mas magandang maibalik lahat ng powers ng NFA. It just has to be managed properly by honest people, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, nakakatuwa to si Secretary Kiko kasi may plano siya para ibaba talaga yung presyo. Kasi pag binaba mo yan sa kadiwa ng 40 pesos, lahat na mamimili ng bigas pupunta dyan. So, sino ngayon ang nagkokontrol ng presyo ng bigas sa palengke? Mr. Secretary,
Mr. Chair, yung tungkol sa Price Act na nabanggit ng ating colleague from the DTI, it can only be triggered if there is a spike of more than 10% from the previous month. Unfortunately, walang ganong pangyayari. So wala rin, while that tool is available to us, but there are rules in order to activate that rule. And pangalawa, may problema sa funding nun. Wala ring funding yun. Even if we are able to legally activate it, wala ring pondo, Mr. Chair.
nabanggit mo kanina, Mr. Secretary, na upon the implementation of the RTL in 2019, nawalan ng power ang NFA. Sa tingin mo, kailangan ba natin ayusin o ibalik ang dating power ng NFA para sa procurement at sa pag-control ng mga presyo ng bigas sa palengke?
Mr. Chair, I believe if we want to control the situation, mas magandang maibalik lahat ng powers ng NFA. It just has to be managed properly by honest people, Mr. Chair.
So, ibig sabihin, nirerekomenda mo dito sa Super Committee, Mr. Secretary, na pag-aralan namin kung paano natin i-enhance ang power ng NFA kagaya ng dati.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think that is the most important, and that will solve, assuming meron tayong final formula at meron kayong bagong batas na ilalabas tungkol dyan, that will solve the problems moving forward for many years, Mr. Chair.
Pupunta ako sa sources ng palay dito sa Pilipinas. Sa supply ng palay, Mr. Secretary, ilan ang locally produced na palay at saka imported na rice? More or less, Mr. Chair.
Alam ko yung sa rice, ano? Ilan tons? So 78% of our rice is we produce locally. It's about 13 million tons. Ang requirement natin na total almost 16 million per year tons of rice.
So, ibig sabihin, Mr. Secretary, 3 million tons lang ang inaangkat natin as imported rice.
I believe we need, sorry sorry, Mr. Chair, calculator lang. Dali. We need 3.8 million tons per year.
So, i-round off natin, Mr. Chair. So, around 4 million tons ang kailangan natin iangkat every year.
Plus buffer stock, Mr. Chair. So 10% more, 4.5 to 4.70 kung kailangan natin, Mr. Chair.
Palagi nila sinisisi ang smuggling as the source ng isa sa mga problema sa bigas. Sa tingin mo, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chair, meron pa bang smuggling of rice sa Pilipinas ngayon?
Mr. Chair, I would state that previous pag-upo ko last year, medyo marami pa. Sa ngayon, tingin ko most of it has been solved. But of course, meron pa rin baka pa-konti-konti dyan. But large-scale smuggling, I can honestly say na halos wala na yung large scale, Mr. Chair.
Dapat lang, Mr. Chair, kasi yung tariff duty binaba na ni Presidente from 35 nagiging 15. Tapos anybody can import rice. So siguro wala na rason para mag-smuggling. Sa punto na 70% ang locally produced rice,
78, Mr. Chair.
78%. Ano kayang cost kung bakit mataas pa rin yung cost of production, Mr. Secretary?
Well, ang cost of production, basically the main problem is fertilizer. Kung titignan natin ang seed procurement natin or seed prices, the seed prices over the last 5 years, hindi naman tumaas eh. Halos hindi gumalaw for hybrid. Yung inbred, nagtaas kami ng konti lang this year, but very minimal. It's the fertilizer talaga, Mr. Chair, ang problema. Noong 2021, ang presyo ng fertilizer is only 700 pesos per bag. Umabot siya ng 3,000 pesos per bag nung height of the initial year of the Ukraine war, especially in the second year. Ngayon bumaba na to 1,500, pero it's still double than what it was in 2020, more than double than what it was in 2021, Mr. Chair.
Wala ba tayong pwede gawin na intervention para bumaba yung presyo ng fertilizer, Mr. Chair?
Well, one is to produce our own compost, no? At meron nga tayong programa sa ating DSWM, sponsored by Senator Cynthia Villar sa composting machines. So malaki yung budget doon and we want to operationalize this, bibigay sa farmers in an effective way para magamit talaga, and it should bring down, it should help with the cost of fertilizers, Mr. Chair.
Yung Kadiwa stores nyo, Mr. Secretary, isa sa mga laudable activities na ginawa ng DA. Pero sa tingin namin kasi, kukonti pa lang. Kaya ba ng DA na lagyan ng Kadiwa stores ang bawat munisipyo dito sa Pilipinas?
Yes, sir. Kaya. We just need time and we need the funds to do it. The main challenge of the Kadiwa is not the supply. We have enough supply of rice, local and imported. The main challenge is the logistics cost and ang main challenge. But meron nang binigay si Pangulo sa amin na 5 billion pesos. For 1.5, of which 1.5 billion pesos will be used for the P29 in 29 peso rice for the disadvantaged. Then the 3 billion will be used for the rice for all para i-launch namin nationwide yan to sell at 40 pesos and hopefully 39 pesos per kilo. And the 500 million will be used for rehabilitation of warehouses and for logistics. So that the funds is not coming to us very soon, and yung parang policy guideline on how to use it, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, nakakatuwa to si Secretary Kiko kasi may plano siya para ibaba talaga yung presyo. Kasi pag binaba mo yan sa Kadiwa ng 40 pesos, lahat na mamimili ng bigas pupunta dyan. So mapipwersa ngayon ng mga retailers na ito na magkukumpit sa presyo. So siguro bababa na rin yan ang presyo sa palengke. Ang tanong ko lang, last question, Mr. Chair. I came from the district of Sultan Kudarat. Puro bundok kasi ang distrito ko. Ang mga tinatanim nila na bigas, yung tinatawag na sahod ulan, once a year. May programa ba yung DA para dyan?
Mr. Chair, definitely marami pa tayong lupa na pwedeng taniman ng bigas na may 3% slope or higher. So, yung nga yun, ang problema doon is it is unirrigated. So kung ma-irrigate natin yon, especially with drip irrigation, even for rice, I think we can do double cropping. And ang estimated na total area ng upland area na hindi pa natin natataniman o hindi na siya doon nagagamit or underutilized nga is about another 1 million hectares. So malaking bagay yun, Mr. Chair. So meron tayong mga pilot project to put solar irrigation doon sa mga lugar na yon. Para and one of the targets is we will be putting 300 million for 2025 sa rice terraces area natin sa Banawe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will reserve my other questions sa second round. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, may I just briefly interject, ano? Mr. Secretary, kasi very perennial na, no, yung ako sa experience ko 6 years. It's always DTI saying it's DA's job, DA saying DTI yan. So, can you point us to the right direction?
Mr. Chair, the DA is willing to take on the job. We just need your support
Yes,
in
yes.
allowing,
And
giving
this
us
is
the
the
power,
perfect
Mr.
venue
Chair.
for that, Mr. Secretary. So baka pwedeng what law needs to be clarified? Is there a new law that we need to pass? Please prepare it in a position paper, as well as the staffing pattern that you will be needing in the enforcement group.
Thank you. That is a very welcome remark, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you.
Very important sa amin yan. Salamat sa inyong suporta. Thank you.
Halaga lang ano na matuldukan na natin to, and then at least we owe this to the consumer, di ba?
We will rush it
So,
before Christmas.
Yes, please, thank you, para matulungan natin yung committee. Best effort. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Secretary King.
Before, the next will be Congressman Briones, but before that, is there anywhere in any law that refers to DA with respect to price monitoring? Asis?
Meron po meron po kami yung AMAS eh. We are doing price monitoring for major commodities ng agriculture. And
Pero hindi
bagitin ko lang, after monitoring, that's where it ends. Kasi the power nga to work on it is limited by the Price Act.
Yeah, but under the new law, under Section 5, Daily Price Index, in support of the implementation of this act,
DPI.
the Agribusiness and Marketing Assistance Services and the Bureau of Agricultural Research, hindi pa ba ito na, ano? Existing pa ba ito? Of the DA, are hereby mandated to establish, strengthen, and maintain a DPI, provided that the BIR, in consultation with the NTA, will set a minimum price for the sale of tobacco products, the minimum retail price, the AMAS and BAR, in coming up with the prices, shall ensure that the DPI exhibits transparency, accountability, and is published on their official. You're able to monitor, but you cannot do something.
Yes, sir. It's still monitoring.
Anyway, so may I now recognize Congressman Briones. Will you interject? Mr. Chair.
Briefly,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, based on the statement made by Secretary Laurel, you said that before the tariff was reduced, the annual imported consumption or volume is around 3.8. But this year, Mr. Secretary, based on the records of Bureau of Customs, the volume has dramatically increased to around 4.2 or 4.5 million. So would you agree with me that because of the tariff reduction, smugglers were actually forced to declare? And all along, this is the volume that we are actually importing, except that malaking portion that was not declared.
Mr. Chair, I concur na nung 35% ng tariff, it was very malaking incentive to smuggle. Nung binaba yung taripa, maliit na yung incentive to smuggle. Thus, yung actual kaya nabawasan ng smuggling.
Yes. So the volume, all along remained, but the smugglers were encouraged more to import and declare.
I believe so, Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
because yesterday that was a statement made by Commissioner Rubio, and I think Ascom Maronilla will affirm that there were minimal incidents of smuggling. In fact, yung seize nila only amounted to something like 846 million of diversified agricultural products. Now, is that correct, Ascom Maronilla?
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, we disaggregated it already. The rice value is 331, Mr. Chair, out of the 800 something that we seized for this year. And mainly it's a case of a visitorial power exercised by the Bureau in one warehouse where I think 3 or 4 owners were not able to produce legitimate documents.
So that is too small compared to the taxable amount as declared here from your own record. So as of November, Ascom, magkano yung taxable value of all rice imports? Do you have data with you?
The taxable value being declared, Your Honor, ranges from about 0.49 to 0.50.
Now, we're talking of the entire imports of rice. What is the entire taxable value of all rice imports?
Yes, Your Honor. That's a per kilo basis. That's the average declaration coming from our importers.
No. What I'm trying to
overall?
point out is overall, because kahit na-reduce yung tariff, na-offset naman ng tamang declaration. Kasi before, 35% ang tariff natin, pero only a few were declaring. Ngayon, na-reduce yung tariff and more importers are declaring. So, ibig sabihin, it's not an entire loss on the part of government. Medyo nakabawi ang gobyerno dito na kahit na-reduce siya, pero yung mga smugglers, medyo tumino naman. Meaning it's an incentive for them not to smuggle. So, hindi naman lahat natalo yung gobyerno dito because the smugglers, tumino naman and they were forced to declare because it is an incentive to them to import and declare. So, magkano lahat ng, the entire taxable value, Ascom?
Your Honor, it's about 32 billion.
32 billion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Last year, magkano? Yeah, because the data that you showed us as of December 6, the loss of government from the reduction of tariff amounted to 13 billion, 13.3.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, pero mas madami ang nag-declare ngayon kesa last year.
Correct, Your Honor. We're up to about last December 6, 4.2 billion metric tons already. 4.2 million
4.2 metric tons.
Metric tons already.
All right. Okay. So I could probably get that figure later on in the interest of time. So in the discussion earlier with the secretary before the hearing, the secretary is coming out with a department order imposing, as we had suggested in last week's hearing, that for targeted commodities, agriculture commodities, the DA will now impose a pre-shipment inspection. No? Learning from the experience they had in misdeclaration, so targeted commodities will be subjected to pre-inspection, a pre-shipment inspection, and hopefully SGS will undertake the same. What is your take on that, Ascom?
We fully agree, Your Honor. If I think that's a good suggestion and a good solution for issues on smuggling and other issues on importation. If a pre-shipment inspection for agricultural products is imposed. Anyway, Your Honor, we're doing that already for bulk shipments. So we only need to do that for containerized shipments for this particular program. So we believe that that would greatly help solve some of our issues.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, may I know if FDA has been invited here in this meeting, hearing Chair Mark?
Yes, do we have a representative from FDA? Comsec, could you confirm, please, if we have invited someone from FDA? But in the meantime, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Jervil Jinky Beatrix Luistro, the Honorable Ambrosio Boy Cruz, and the Honorable Lani Mercado Revilla.
Mr. Chair, I will reserve those questions if the FDA will attend in the next hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Total nandun na tayo sa FDA. Tama ba yun, Jet? Na ang basehan ng pagpapasok nyo is an FDA clearance?
Depending on which commodity,
Bigas.
Mr. Chair. No, Your Chair. No, Mr. Chair.
Are you sure? I keep hearing that
The basis would be the SPS IC issued by the Bureau of Plant Industry.
dami kong notes, oh. FDA daw
I
ginagamit
think, Mr.
mo.
Chair, the FDA has only jurisdiction on processed food. Kasi sabi ni Secretary kanina, ang nangyayari is there's a hairline
So, kung nilagay,
border between processed food and those of agricultural products like meat. So, ang ibang smugglers, ginagamit nila FDA import permit. Tapos sinasaksakan nila ng chicken or whatever.
Sa
I mean,
likod.
I'm sure ASCOM would be able to attest to that.
Well, that's a possibility, Your Honor. But again, given the examination and scanning that we conduct with our shipments,
kaso you smiled eh.
if it happens, it's very
So
minimal
that
or
means
not
it's
at all.
true.
There are possibilities to that, Your Honor. I would not deny that. But again, based on how we conduct our examination and scanning, it would be very difficult to do that in a large scale basis. And again, on the gray area on which jurisdiction falls with what regulatory agencies. Years back, Your Honor, we've actually conducted a review together with all our regulatory agencies to delineate which products belong to which agency for regulation. And we have that master list still.
Yeah, kasi Mr. Chair, kailangan na mag-attend si FDA dito because we learned that customs should be on the lookout, ASCOM, pag ang permit na ginagamit ng importer is FDA. Kasi kahit may enforcement power ang FDA, kulang din sila ng tao because until today, they were not even able to finish their business plan even if the new FDA law was enacted way back in 2009. Incidentally, I was the author of the new FDA law. So kahit hanggang ngayon, wala pa yan. No? So siguro, ASCOM, mas careful kayo pag nakita ninyo, pag file ng entry na FDA yung import permit, you have to be more vigilant kasi ang smuggler, ginagamit nila FDA import permit rather than securing the permit from the DA. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
May I now call on
Mr. Chair?
Congressman Nick Briones?
Thank you,
Secretary,
Mr. Chair.
yes.
Mr. Chair, just to add lang sa FDA, the FDA and DA now are working on an MOA na for joint operations to address yung smuggling. We have drafted already the document and is final baka by January meron na kaming agreement, just to update you, Mr.
That's
Chair.
good news.